Ron Paul. Congressman, I know you're in New Hampshire tonight, but are you concerned that this hits Texas once again? There's going to be talk about FEMA to the rescue. FEMA has to spend a lot of money, and on we go from a government that doesn't have any money. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it'll be the same thing over and over again. Of course, a lot of people in Texas, my district, don't have a lot of confidence in FEMA because they, have trouble getting responses from FEMA, and FEMA tends to get in the way. Then when they promise the checks to come, they don't come very often on time. So right now, I'm certainly keeping my fingers crossed because although that is a significant storm, I'm still assuming that we're not going to get hit with a hurricane, and hopefully we don't run into a whole lot of problems like that. You know,
your comments since the big hurricane, Irene, and bashing FEMA as you did, were based on just the record of FEMA and whether it serves the purpose it does or whether it's able to do what it should. But some interpret it as sounding heartless. How do you address your critics who say that at a time like this, you shouldn't be second-guessing this? You argue just the opposite, right?
Well, absolutely. You know, I didn't support the program when it was started because I was afraid they'd distort the concept of insurance and cause more people to depend on the government and build more in the areas that they shouldn't be building, and that's exactly what has happened. But also, it's the funding. They're $20 billion in debt, and when we were looking for money for Ike and other places, I'm not opposed to it, but I do believe we have to pay for it. And this idea of the governors now just demanding, send us money, it's an emergency, and we don't care how you pay for it, just worry about that next week. Well, those days are over.
Well, you know, your governor, Rick Perry, who's the leader in this race so far, has been a big critic of stimulus, but of course has taken that stimulus in his state as governor.
Yeah.
Do you think that's hypocritical? Do you think that's going to come back to bite him? Maybe something you raise either in a debate or as this race ensues?
I think it's a bit hypocritical, but I don't think it's going to hurt that much because there's still a lot of people out there that like it. But for some people, maybe in our primary more so, people don't like that. They want consistent conservatives and fiscal conservatives, so it might. It depends on how it plays out and how he answers the question, how many people, pursue the issue.
Are you surprised by his surge? It's not that you're any, third or fourth rate slouch yourself. You do very well in the polls, but he seems to have galvanize the nation's attention, at least Republicans' attention. Do you think to the detriment of everyone else in the race?
Well, certainly I don't see him as a threat to our campaign because I see him as a threat to the others because he dilutes the conventional vote. He represents more the status quo. So, yes, I think once he got in the race, my percentages actually went up because he took votes away from the other candidates.
Well, he did seem to take a lot from Michelle Bachmann, but now he is sort of lapped around Mitt Romney. Are Republicans moving too fast around him, or do you think this is going to sort of flail down? What?
I think it's really pretty darn early, and most people haven't thought seriously about it, and it changes. It's so fluid, and we've had a lot of a lot of people, in leadership of this race along the way in the last 6 months, and for a week or two or a month, they're leaders, and all of a sudden they fade after people find out more about it, and some even drop out of the race. So I think it's pretty early. It probably depends on the candidate's ability to deliver a message that's appealing, whether the campaign is growing in strength, and whether or not he can raise money.
All right, Congressman, very good seeing you again. Good luck tonight in New Hampshire. I know you have a crazy travel schedule. We always appreciate the time. Ron Paul.
Thank you, Neil.
All right, we've got a lot more coming up.